Man, I can barely keep my hands steady typing this because the Cleveland Browns are about to absolutely flip the script on everything we thought we knew about this upcoming NFL draft. You know how it is being a fan of this team. We are used to the chaos, but this is a different kind of monster. Andrew Berry is cooking something so massive right now that it could redefine the entire future of our franchise. We are talking about the kind of move that either makes you a genius or haunts you for a decade. The rumors are swirling, the phones are ringing off the hook, and the stakes have never been higher for us. You need to stay tuned because everything is changing fast. Carnell Tate is the name that has everyone in the building sweating because the Browns are seriously considering trading away both our 6th and 24th overall picks just to reshape this roster from the ground up. I mean, think about that for a second. We have premium capital, the kind of assets that teams dream of, and Berry is basically putting them on the table for the highest bidder. It is a bold, gutsy move that shows this front office is not content with just standing pat. They are looking at the wide receiver room and that left tackle spot and realizing that one or two rookies might not be enough to fix the holes. So, they are entertaining offers from the Dallas Cowboys, the New Orleans Saints, and even the New York Giants. Can you imagine trading with Dallas or New York? The phone lines are burning up because everyone wants a piece of those top-tier spots, and Berry is playing a high-stakes game of poker. He wants to accumulate more picks, more bites at the apple, to ensure we get elite protection for the quarterback and a weapon that can actually stretch the field. But here's the real kicker that most people are overlooking in this whole scenario. If we move out of that number 6 spot, we are passing on a potential generational talent right at the top of the board. Is the depth worth more than a superstar? That is the question keeping me up at night. Tate represents that explosive potential we desperately need, but the strategy is shifting toward building a more complete unit rather than banking on just one savior. It is a massive gamble that could backfire if the guys we get later do not pan out. Every time I think I have Berry figured out, he goes and does something like this. He is looking for value where others see risk, and he is willing to negotiate with some of the biggest power players in the league to get it done. The thought of trading with the Giants or Saints makes my head spin, but if it means getting a haul of picks that secures our line for 5 years, maybe it is the right call. But man, the tension is thick enough to cut with a knife, because if this goes wrong, we are going to be talking about it for years. And just when you thought the draft board was set, this happens. Jeremiah Love is another name that keeps popping up in these high-level discussions as a potential target if the Browns successfully navigate these trade-down scenarios to pick up more assets. It is not just about the first round anymore. It is about how Berry can manipulate the entire board to grab a guy like Love, who adds that extra dimension of speed and versatility to our offense. This is where it gets really interesting because if we drop back from 6 and 24, we are essentially saying we trust our scouting department to find those diamonds in the rough later on. It is a philosophy that has worked for some of the best teams in the league, but for us, it feels like walking a tightrope without a net. The pressure on the scouting staff right now must be insane. They are looking at these trade offers from New Orleans and Dallas and trying to project who will still be available at the end of the first or early in the second round. If we can land a top-tier tackle and still have the ammunition to go after a playmaker, then Berry looks like a god. But if we trade back and the board doesn't fall our way, we are left holding the bag while our rivals get the stars. I keep looking at the roster and thinking about the impact of adding 3 or 4 starters instead of just 2. It makes sense on paper, but football isn't played on paper. It's played with heart and elite talent. Are we giving up the chance at an elite cornerstone just to fill out the depth chart? The Saints are desperate for a quarterback move, the Cowboys always want to make a splash, and the Giants are looking to rebuild their offensive identity. We are the ones holding the keys to their futures, and Berry knows he has the leverage. He is squeezing every bit of value he can out of these picks. But the risk of losing out on a blue-chip prospect is haunting. Every fan I talk to is split down the middle. Some want the superstar at 6, others want the haul of picks to fix the whole team. It is a classic draft dilemma, but with the Browns, everything feels 10 times more intense. We cannot afford to miss here. Not this year, not with this window. This move with Love and the potential trades is a total game changer that could define the next decade. Before I dive into how this move specifically destroys or saves our season, I need you guys to do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and drop a like if you live and breathe Browns football like I do. We are growing this community fast, and I want you here for every update. Seriously, don't miss out on what is coming next. The context here is everything because we are not just talking about moving a few spots. We are talking about a fundamental shift in how the Cleveland Browns operate under Andrew Berry. Historically, we have seen teams thrive by moving back, but we have also seen teams lose out on legendary players because they got too greedy for extra picks. The impact on the locker room would be immediate. If we bring in a haul of rookies, it signals a youth movement and a serious commitment to long-term stability at the tackle and receiver positions. Imagine a world where we have a young, dominant left tackle protecting our investment for the next 8 years, while also having 3 young receivers who can actually separate. That is the dream scenario that Berry is chasing. But the future is never guaranteed in the NFL. If we trade with the Cowboys or Giants, we are helping them get their guys too. We are essentially arming our competition while trying to build our own fortress. The ripple effect of this trade would be felt across the entire league. It would change the draft order for everyone behind us and potentially spark a massive run on certain positions. I am sitting here looking at the mock drafts, and they all just went out the window. This is the kind of aggressive management that either builds a champion or gets people fired. I love the guts it takes to even consider this, but as a fan, I am terrified of the what if. What if the guy we could have had at 6 becomes a Hall of Famer somewhere else? What if the picks we get in return don't develop? The margin for error is razor thin. But looking at the future, if this works, we could be looking at the deepest Browns roster we have seen in decades. It is about building a sustainable winner, not just a one-year wonder. Berry is playing the long game, and while it is stressful as hell to watch, you have to respect the vision. The next few weeks are going to be a roller coaster, and honestly, I am strapped in and ready. This is Cleveland football. It is never easy, it is never quiet, and it is always full of surprises. We are on the verge of something that will be talked about for years. At the end of the day, this is more than just a draft strategy. It is a statement of intent from the Cleveland Browns. We are no longer a team that just accepts its fate at the top of the board. We are a team that is actively trying to manipulate the market to find the best possible path to a Super Bowl. Whether you love the idea of trading down or hate the thought of passing on a superstar like Tate, you have to admit that Andrew Berry is making moves that few GMs have the courage to make. This could be the turning point that finally puts us over the edge, or the mistake that sets us back. But that is the beauty of the NFL, isn't it? The uncertainty is what keeps us coming back every single Sunday. This draft will define the Berry era in Cleveland, and the significance of these potential trades cannot be overstated. We are building for something bigger than just a winning season. We are building a legacy. But I want to hear from you, the real heart of this team. Do you think Berry is making a genius move by stockpiling picks? Or are we making a massive mistake by not taking the best player available at 6? This is our team, and your voice matters. Drop a comment below and let me know if you would take the trade or stay put. I read every single one of them. And if you want to stay on top of every breaking update as the draft gets closer, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. We are in this together, through the trades, the wins, and the heartbreaks. Go Browns! This is just the beginning of a wild ride, and I promise you, you do not want to miss a single second of what happens next.